Aloha and welcome to the Local My Life, guys. Here we go. It's Aloha Friday. Okay, no work till Monday for some of us. I won't torture you guys by singing the Aloha Friday song, even though we did sing it every single Friday when I went to school. It never failed. Someone would break out singing that at some point. So welcome and aloha, gang. We have a little different. We kind of did this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about DV, and it worked so well then that I thought, you know what, let's try the idea again. After we talk about a subject, let's try to do a panel with people who have been affected by whatever it was that we were talking about. And last week when we talked about invisible and chronic illnesses, gang, I was amazed how many people it really was affecting. In fact, I'll be honest with you, it felt like it was affecting almost everyone, if not 99% of everyone is dealing with something that is either invisible or chronic. And so I put out yesterday, I was a little late on it, but I put out a notice to people if anyone wanted to come up on panel and kind of help talk about this issue, how it affects them, and how they deal with things. And I know also a lot of you in chat also deal with these things. So I would love to, just because you're not up on panel doesn't mean you can't join in on this, because hopefully today, by the end of this live, we'll be able to help each other understand that we aren't alone, number one. Okay, and number two, maybe come up with some ways of dealing with things in the future. So before I go saying hi to everyone, because I do want to say hi to everyone, I want to bring up the two people that we got backstage who decided to pop on in and help us with our discussion today as I feed the dogs. And also first, many of you guys know her because she welcomes you into almost every single chat we go to, and she is awesome. Okay, she is the Nicole. Not a Nicole, but the Nicole. Hey, Nicole, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm like, hey, how often can I go say, okay, yeah, this is the Nicole. Okay,
The
yeah,
Nicole.
exactly. The Nicole. Notice how the other one's just conveniently not there talking right now? Mm-hmm. See? How you doing today, Nicole?
I am doing okay. How are you?
Good. I'm happy to start a weekend. Definitely happy about that. So,
Me too.
Yes. So I got one other person. Actually, I had two, but one person had to pull out. Hopefully she'll make it before we finish. But if not, Boot Hill Sleuth was going to try to join us, but she had some things happen in IRL and all, but we do have someone else. And actually, this next person actually has a channel that talks about a lot of the issues with dealing with invisible and chronic pain, exhaustion, things that come along specifically in her case, among other things, but fibromyalgia. And that is Miss Kelly. How you, my dear Kelly?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Sitting here feeding dogs to keep them quiet, but it works. It works wonderfully.
That's what mine are doing.
Exactly. See, that's the key. You just want to have the treats with you whenever you go on panel, and it works. They do train you very quickly, but yes. So.
They got my husband trained, not me.
See, they've got me for lives. For everything else, it's my mom, because my mom will try to eat dinner and they'll beg like crazy off of her. Me, they know not to do that.
That's how they are
when
with
it
me
comes
too.
to life.
Not me.
Yep, they know. Dogs know. Nicole, do you have any dogs or cats? I can't remember.
I do. I have one little 5-pound Chihuahua and I have 2 cats. But my dog sleeps. He is a night owl like me, so he's still sleeping for the day. I've got probably about an hour before he wakes up.
Oh my gosh, that is cool. That is, your dogs want to be with you. So if they know what time you're up, they're going to match that for sure. So, well, let's say hi to a couple people in chat real quickly. I know we've got to talk for a few minutes because of those horrible commercials. So yeah, but what can I say? And so we can talk to people in the meantime. And so we have Kelly and Nicole who are, Burden is here. Hey, Burden, my dear, how you doing? And yeah, Burden, that last live, I've actually got the link that you were showing, Burden, in the background, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on it because I have a feeling during Cantina it's going to get really interesting over there right now.
I gotta put my iPad down because the princess wants to come up on the couch.
And princesses get what they want. Exactly. Which, talking about the princesses, I know she wasn't here because there she is, Princess Megan Elsa. Hello. Oh, puppy. NY's here. Hey, NY, how you doing, my dear? Let's see. Yes, the dogs are barking. Thank God for Chris. But that's all I got to say. Rosaline. Yay. My favorite thing about you get Fridays. My favorite part about Fridays is I get to hang out with Miss Rosaline. I love it. And Red Rock is here. Hey, Red Rock. And I think I saw Sky Maiden. Yep, there's Sky Maiden. Hey, my dear. Sandra's here. Hey, Sandra. And John Paul, I'll stand by. But no problem. John Paul, what you can do, and this is for everyone. I know it's different for many people coming up on panel, especially talking about things that you deal with day in, day out. It's different than just talking story, shooting the shit, things like that. It's a little different to do that stuff. So please feel free to talk about stuff in chat. Okay, you don't have to come up on panel if you want to participate. Luckily during this live, I can kind of keep a better idea of what's going on in chat. Oh my gosh, someone just must have come to the front door because they're just with the dogs. So yeah, so feel free to just chat away in there all you want. Sleuth is here. Happy almost birthday. Yes, actually, I was born in Texas. So officially, my birthday was 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So I still got quite a ways to go. So a couple hours. Put them off as long as possible. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
so it's not just Cantina tonight. It's your birthday party.
Yes.
Exactly. We're gonna have fun. I wanted to do tomorrow, but I'm actually gonna be going with a bunch of local friends to sing karaoke. I gotta say room for about 15 people, and maybe I'll try to record from there and post a video for everyone. But yep, it's a birthday night. We're gonna have so much. Oh my God, we're gonna have fun tonight. I hope. Maybe. Yes. Lone Wolf. 2 things I want to say. First, thanks for becoming a member. I really, really appreciate that a lot. And just as much, I appreciate all that you do in Discord. I know you help a lot of us by posting articles and stuff like that. And I wanted you to know that it's very much appreciated. And so it's actually bringing life to my Discord. So thank you. Thank you so much. And no problem, my dear. And so is that everyone? I think that's everyone. Yep. Okay. Perfect. Here we go. So let me pull this down. Sorry, dogs are barking. Okay, well, come here, Cassie. Yeah, Cassie's got to be. Okay, you gonna say hi to everyone, Cass, before we start? No, you're just gonna stare at the tree. And so let me just start. Actually, let's start it this way. And those of you in chat, if you feel comfortable, please feel free to answer the same questions that I'm asking everyone else, but answer it in chat. Don't feel like you have to, because we are talking about healthcare stuff, and that's private. That is private. Okay. And no one should feel forced to talk about anything they don't feel comfortable with. But let me just, let's start with what are some of the different things that we're all dealing with. I know myself, I'll start, then I'll go to you too, so you kind of have an idea. I just want to get an idea. What are some of the different invisible and chronic illnesses that we are dealing with as a community? Because a lot of times we just see each other as people typing behind a keyboard, maybe talking on screen once in a while, but we don't know about the things that you really can't recognize until you're out walking to a car or different things on that level. I know myself, my biggest issues that I deal with is I have pulmonary embolisms that never healed. Okay, about 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with pulmonary embolisms, multiple on both lungs. Okay, in pretty much about 80% of the different quadrant areas. And they were hoping it would all disappear. Well, last spring, I was having symptoms again. So went in and discovered a number of the PEs never dissolved. And because of that, I have developed pulmonary hypertension, which means I'm actually have I could get really low blood oxygen at times. I could get extremely tired. Just walking a little way can tire me out quickly. That's the biggest thing that I deal with. I deal with a lot of other littler, smaller things. Okay, I'm diabetic, for example, things like that. That's brand new. What about the two of you? Who'd like to go first? Kind of give us an idea what you deal with on a day-to-day basis. Kelly, you want to, since you're unmuted?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks.
I have the fibromyalgia, and I deal with the chronic pain. It's not easy to live with, just always being in pain and not being able to like pinpoint exactly where. And after a while, the family gets tired of hearing, "I'm in pain, I'm in pain, I'm in pain." I also deal with the chronic migraines, which is no fun at all.
Mm-hmm.
I have to take like 4 different meds just to keep it at like 10 to 12 a month.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
But it is what it is, and
Yep.
just got to keep plugging along, I guess.
Yep. Kind of like Sandra here, dealing with fibro and chronic pain.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely something you just keep working. Oh, hey, Steffa. Hello, my dear. So, well, thank you. Thank you for that. And those of you adding into chat, thank you for that too. Because the reason why I asked this question, then I'm going to ask Nicole to go on, is I wanted people to feel like they aren't alone. Because a lot of times we're dealing with the same things. And it's nice to know that there's other people out there. And also, okay, Nicole, what about you? What is it that you kind of have to deal with regularly?
I'm some of the same as you guys, easily fatigued. I actually don't grocery shop anymore because that would wipe me out for the entire day.
Yep. Taking that
So
back
I am a firm supporter of curbside pickup. It's half the work because now I just have to bring it in the house and put it away. I'm anemic because of my Crohn's disease. Let's start with that. I do have Crohn's disease. And I have a hard time taking iron. So
okay,
that's a struggle.
So you get more tired. Right. So you get more tired because you don't.
Yeah.
If you're anemic, yeah.
The chronic pain, my abdomen area is always, at least some type of discomfort. Even wearing jeans is hard for me.
Oh, wow.
So getting quote unquote dressed up for me is like jeans and a nice pair of shoes rather than going out in my sweatpants. I do have, and I'm going to get a little graphic here. I have constant diarrhea when I'm flared. So that makes me not want to leave my house. So I am home more than I used to be. That's also why I had to stop working. So I'm out on disability.
Okay.
And since being diagnosed and going through all the medications and surgery and procedures, I've also developed anxiety disorder.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. No, that makes sense completely.
That goes along with it too.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people, and because of the never knowing exactly what's going to happen. Okay. Yeah. Especially something like Crohn's disease where you don't know what is going to, okay, if you're driving home, like you say, and something starts happening, My mom deals with IBS. And I
I do
swear
too.
we
Yeah.
had, you do too. You have all the bathrooms memorized the whole way home and
You
everything.
do.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like TMI, but it's the truth. And that's
Yeah.
what, yeah, this is honestly, this is if this type of talk triggers people, please, I'm so sorry. But it's hopefully going to help everyone realize how normal this stuff is to have to deal with.
Yeah. And
And
that's why I'm thankful I get to work from home.
yes, I think that's been one of the greatest things. Two great things that came out of COVID, I honestly believe, is number one, the ability for people to work from home. We're seeing that. Even me, I'm able to do a lot more from home than I used to do.
Right.
And then the other is grocery shopping, the way Nicole just mentioned it. Okay,
Yeah.
having
'Cause I
delivery
can't.
or yeah, it makes such a difference compared to what it used to be like.
Right.
And so no, that's definitely. I thought I saw burden right here. So burden, hypothyroidism, pelvic congestion, IBS, endometritis. See, so many of these things, and even as we're all
Chronic
sharing these things, you
migraines. Yeah.
yep. It's like I get the migraines also. Chronic pain is a given because of all this stuff.
Oh, see,
And
that's not
mhm.
all though. I have every disc in my neck is bulging.
Oh
I
no.
have bone spurs in the middle of my back. My L4 is arthritic, and I have a bulging L5S1, plus
Okay.
degenerative disc disease, spondylosis, and scoliosis.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's all compounding with everything else. Sky Maiden also dealing with depression, anxiety.
Yeah,
And I think,
that
yeah,
too. Depression,
that's,
anxiety.
no, you
I get
got
my
it.
groceries delivered too because I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, in fact, a lot of times our groceries are being delivered.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes my headache gets too much, or
Yep.
we deal with a lot of fog here in Hawaii. So it's the
Right,
volcano.
right.
It's not fog. It's not smog. It's volcanic ash in the air. And I think that's why lately I've been getting congested a lot of times. In fact, during chats, I kind of go hoarse. And it's connected to that. And I can see
Yeah.
my oxygen change based off of that. So let me ask you guys. Okay, so the next question I kind of had that goes with this is so many of us were dealing with this on a daily life. Okay, it's day to day. And what do you do to keep yourself in a good frame of mind? Because it's so easy to go down that, I don't want to say victim mentality,
Mm.
but that whole oh poor me thing. Okay, have to pull myself out of it all the time. Okay, I got researching last night. I got researching the surgery that will have to happen if my pulmonary hypertension gets worse. And I was totally going down that road last night.
Yeah, it's
Um,
tough.
yeah. What do you do? I see John Paul is talking about writing. And I think that's also, we were talking about music a little while ago in Discord. Um, what type of things do you two do?
Me, I like to just, honestly, I like to just be lazy and sit here and watch TV. And like, because I don't think about anything. I can just sit here and just not think
Zone
about
out?
anything watching TV. Yeah, I zone
Yeah.
out. And also, honestly, with my job position, the agents keep me happy, keep me sane.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So working with people that you're working with, keeping your
Hmm.
thinking and projects and stuff like that
Yeah,
truly help you.
it's very gratifying because I love helping people, and that's my position. They call me in for help.
That's
Okay, that
good.
makes sense. Yeah, that is
So
that people can find things to do from home now this way, and that's what makes it, because before you could just go on disability and you were stuck on disability at home without much to do to pull yourself out of it,
I
and
got
having
denied
something to work
for
for.
that.
Because yeah,
I
it's
fought
getting
for
bad.
5 years,
Wow.
all because I got diagnosed too quickly.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yep,
So,
there
yeah.
wasn't enough paper trail.
Wow.
They said
Yeah.
you need to go work for 5 years before you can apply again.
Wow. That does not.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That does not work at all. And plus, you get to a certain age where at some point it becomes 5 years. Well, you know what? I might as well just wait until I could get onto Social Security and Medicare at this point.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
for some of us. And
And mind you, I mean, my kid is 18 now, but when he
mm,
was 3, I was bedridden. And he was 6, I think, when I even went in front of the judge.
oh wow.
So
Wow.
Wow.
I wasn't even half as good as what I feel right now because of all the meds that I'm on.
Right. No, you got it. John Paul brings up something here. Writing it helps venting, even though no one else understands the lyric. And I know I'll listen to the music a lot of times that he has up there. And in fact,
Yeah.
we just added, by the way, John Paul, we just added a new folder for music in Discord. Just FYI.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So those of us, there's certain music I listen to when I'm feeling down, or certain music I
Yes.
need when I need to feel strong. Yeah. You
Yes.
got your own little playlist. And, but yeah, people may not understand why you're listening to that song or writing those lyrics, but it makes sense to you. And that's what matters in that moment. So, what about you, Nicole? Are there any things that you do?
Well, since we're talking about music, I dance it out. I will
Oh,
dance it out. I'm not a great singer, but I will sing with all my heart
mm-hmm.
because it feels
Exactly.
good.
If,
Uh,
Bingo.
I keep myself busy. I do have a touch of OCD. So, if I get bad news from the doctor, I'll tend to come home and find a project to organize a closet or wash bedding because I have control of that. I may
Right.
not have control of my illness
That
at the
makes sense.
moment, but I have control of that. So, those types of things I like to get myself into.
That makes
And
sense.
after, it's 23 years now. So I've gotten to the point where I don't really stress so much about it. I just kind of, it's to the point where I'm rolling with the
Just do.
punches, making the best of it. I could be facing surgery myself here in the next few months. It's a surgery I've already had. It
Okay.
sucks. It is what it is, but it
Right.
is what it is. So,
Right.
I just have to wait and see what happens. But
Exactly.
I'm not going to spend every day sitting here feeling sorry for myself. I'm not. I
right.
can't do
That's
that.
key.
I did
That
that
is
for a
so
while
key.
and it's not worth
Yeah.
it.
No. It really, I mean, all it does is bring you down more. And I find I go down, not that I don't feel pity parties at times.
We
Okay. I
all
think it's
do.
normal. Yeah. But once you realize the pity party is going on too long, okay, you're never going to, because I've seen people, their frame of mind makes a difference in their personal health at that time.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't have moments. I do have
Yeah.
moments,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
we all
won't
do.
stay there
We all
long.
do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, my mom actually, you guys all know, had ovarian cancer, and she still, okay, could come back. In fact, it will probably at someday, but she strongly believes she was stage 3C. She was not meant to live, but she feels the reason why she did was her frame of mind. She
Yeah.
didn't allow, yes, she got down, she cried, she did all that, but she just knew she had to focus. Bird made a comment here, and I think this is something a lot of us tend to do. We bury ourselves in true crime or some sort of passion. And
Yep.
It gives us something that we feel like we're making a difference in something while also taking care of ourselves. How
Yeah.
can we make that difference and take care of ourselves?
Yep.
Yeah, no, totally makes a difference there.
If I'm not watching TV, it's YouTube. I'm always listening to it. My husband's always yelling at me. The phone's more important.
Yes, I I get that quite often, actually. I get that all the time. And it's like, we do need to do this, this, and this. I'm like, I know, but I got to do this and I got to do that. And then I got work and da, 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 da. So, do either of you or anyone else in chat have one of the biggest issues that I think all of us deal with when you're dealing with invisible or chronic illnesses are people telling you things like, oh, it's in your mind, or, oh, if you just do this and stay, kind of all those myths that we were talking last week. Do any of you guys have a story you wanted to share about that?
I do.
Yes, go for it,
Okay.
Nicole.
So many, many years ago, before I was diagnosed, but I was seeking diagnose, I went to a doctor. I was struggling with the diarrhea. I had a huge amount of weight loss in a short amount of time. And this doctor asked me if I was taking medication to cause the diarrhea so I would lose the weight. Now, why would I come see you looking for help if that's what was causing it?
This is a doctor on top of it.
Yes.
Wow. That's where medicine should know better. How did you tell him, Ben, what you were thinking?
I did have some words for him.
Good.
I thankfully can't remember them now to repeat them because they probably aren't repeatable. It did, however, I stopped looking for doctors and help for quite a while after that because I don't know how to explain how it made me feel, but I'm not finding the right words here, but it did do something to me mentally that I just was like, I don't want to go see anyone else. Like, I can't believe, is that what they're really going to think of me? And that had been after ER visits, where I was in so much pain, and I've always been treated like a drug seeker. I could go a year without going in, and I go in and you're instantly treated as a drug seeker. Yep. And for me, it has to be bad for me to go to the emergency room. I am stubborn and I don't want to go. So
that is, I think most of us here at one point have that fear because yes, there's a drug issue out there, but that doesn't mean that everyone who's in pain is looking for drugs.
Exactly.
Okay, pain is real. There's a reason why pain is one of the things that they look for. It's not just your pulse and your heart rate and your breathing and your temperature and all. They look at your pulse now too. And your pain. So I can't talk. See, I can't talk either, girl. And what you're saying makes sense because I think a lot of people, for you to go in and see a doctor about many of these things, there's almost a level of embarrassment to it to begin with, that you're dealing with something that you can't deal with. And to go to a doctor and have a doctor treat you that way, it immediately makes you feel like you either are making it up or you're being dramatic or something like that. And I don't blame you, Nicole, for not wanting to go back because those are the thoughts that you feel exactly like Sleuth just said. Yeah. Sorry.
I didn't really have those thoughts. My thoughts were, are these people ever going to believe me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's real. I know it's real. And are they not going to believe me?
Right. No, exactly. And it's like I said last week with the handicap placard bit. Okay, how many times, and I've been guilty of this myself on both sides actually, where I see someone take a handicap spot and I'm like, well, they look healthy enough, don't they? And yet there's other times that I've actually taken it because my oxygen is that bad that day. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh gosh, people are probably looking at me and they're like, oh my God, does that girl, let's go check if she even has a placard or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
I've gotten to the point now where I don't even care if they look at me. I just park in the handicap spot anyways with my placard because I know if the grocery store, if it's somewhere I know I have to do a lot of walking, I'm not making it out of there standing up straight. So
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, if I'm
Look at me funny.
if I have no energy and I have to run into a store, I'm not going to waste half my energy walking across a huge parking lot. You know, I
Exactly.
need to get in, I need to get out. Or if I have an episode, I'd rather be on my way out, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I know I even try to walk things. In fact, I used to back when I was seeing a dietitian back in my 20s and all, we kind of had this little joke. She knows I go to Starbucks all the freaking time. So she would be like, okay, so no problem, go to Starbucks, park a little bit further away and walk. So that's always been in my head that I got to walk. And I want to walk because I know it's good for me to lose weight for the pulmonary hypertension because it's easier on my lungs. And, but then you're fighting the two sides of it where your body's like, girl, your oxygen's in the low 80s right now. You're not going to be doing this. And
exactly.
so it's hard for me because I'm always fighting to thinking I could do more than I can sometimes, if that makes sense.
Yep. I
And
overdo it on my good days.
yeah, it's on
And then I pay
those
for
good
it.
days. Yeah, you got it. We mentioned doctors there. Okay. Has everyone been able to find a doctor that works with you, believes you, or are you still looking for that doctor?
I have 2 that believe me.
Me too.
Okay, good.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah, I know. I got scared to death. My doctor, who I'd had forever and was amazing and everything, retired. In fact, my whole family saw him.
Oh my
And
God.
I was so worried when he retired and everything. And this was right at the time, right before we were trying to figure out what was going on with my oxygen. And we did not know about the whole PE bit yet. I hadn't been diagnosed yet. Sandra, thank you so much for becoming a member. We got another member of the Ohana. Welcome, my dear. Welcome. Thank you. And so I was scared. I wasn't going to find anyone who believed me. And it just so happened one of the last tests he sent me to was a CT scan where they found out I had the PEs. But the problem was my pulmonologist was just like, oh, okay, well, that's over. You just take this medicine and you're fine. Okay, from there.
Yeah.
And they never wanted to look any further and figure things out. They checked the genes. They checked all that. So after the 6 months of the blood thinners, it's like, okay, go off the meds and everything. No testing or anything like that.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. And I found out later that's normal. They don't retest to make sure everything's disappeared. They just expect it disappeared. In my case, it did not.
Yeah, that would be my case too.
Yeah. So I was worried. I kept putting off finding a doctor because I was scared of dealing with it. And I lucked out. I found the first doctor. I went in to go see him and I was having the breathing problems again. I literally had talked to my pulmonologist a couple months before because I felt this coming back. And I told him the pulmonologist, okay, I'm having problems breathing. My oxygen's going to this, all that. Well, get this. I made the mistake of telling him that I do think I'm going into menopause. So I don't know if that might have something to do with it. And he's like, oh, yeah, I think that's it. So what you can do, if you want to do hormones, great, but hormones aren't real good for blood clots. So if you could just deal with the oxygen issues, I just deal with those.
Oh,
So
my God.
I was defeated. I was completely defeated. And I finally, when I found this new PCP, I was telling him all this and he's like, oh, no. And he actually went to bat for me. He went in, I was getting all the stuff on my chart, which by the way, if people have access to my chart,
Oh, yeah, it's
utilize that. Oh my God, is it great? But yeah, he actually was forwarding me to pulmonary hypertension experts. And it pushed the pulmonologist, who he's a real nice guy, but it pushed him. And because of that, they were able to figure out what was going on. So having that doctor who goes to bat for you means everything in the world. It really does.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And Sky Maiden had a sleep study done recently, and they told her that she doesn't get enough oxygen when sleeping. So now you have oxygen. You have to take oxygen mid. There you go.
I was
there
told
you
the
go.
same thing, but you want to know what? My oxygen drops to 70% at night,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I'm still waiting on a CPAP machine since August.
Keep calling. Keep calling.
Yeah,
Because I know
would
that's my
start
issue.
pushing.
Yeah. We have to be our
They're
own. If
on
there's
back order. They're in very high demand.
Ew.
yeah, COVID.
My husband's cousin is a nurse, and she's had patients die that have been waiting for months for them.
Wow, that is nuts. That is nuts. Well, even though they're in high demand, keep calling, because I'll be honest with you, the squeaky wheel, sometimes they just want to shut you up and
Yeah,
don't do something,
absolutely.
shut you up. And also, because that is, yeah, if you're going that low at night, yeah, it happens at times. Okay, I've had a couple that have gone real low like that, but very seldom. And you need to take care of, because yeah, CPAP is connected. Okay, sleep apnea is so connected to so many. In fact, you talk about an invisible illness.
Yep.
Okay, most people don't see it, and yet someone who is dealing with sleep apnea is exhausted all the time during the day.
Yep.
Okay, they can't stay. There's all these things.
I fall asleep at work.
Rosaline. Kelly, contact Rosaline. She may have something she can help you with the CPAP.
Cool. I will. Thank you.
It's what this community is. I love about this community is we're all here for each other, which makes the difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you guys say? Okay, and same for chat right now. When people approach you with the, oh, you know what, it's all in your mind, or oh, if you just do this, you'll feel better, or all those things, how do you deal with that?
You can go first, Nicole.
I love it.
Yeah. I really only get people with what did you eat? Are you watching what you eat? With Crohn's, it does not work that way. There is not one set diet for this disease. It's different for everyone. I can tolerate tomato sauces, spaghetti sauce, stuff like that, perfectly fine. You give me some raw vegetables, I'm dying for a week.
Oh,
So
wow.
I really that really irritates me, but I try and explain it to them. It's different for everyone. I know what I can tolerate, and I know what I can't tolerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much
makes sense.
the only.
I'm kind of that way. Yeah. That's kind of how I am too, is I kind of try to talk. You get mad. You're on the Cristola side. I'm more on the.
I get mad. It depends on how they come at me. If they come at me judgmentally, then yeah, I kind of come at them with an attitude. But I will explain what they, I'll explain everything, and then they understand it. But if they come at me normal, like I can tell that they truly care, then I'm like, I greatly appreciate, the suggestions and everything, but unfortunately for me, it doesn't work because of X, Y, and Z. It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
They want you to exercise, but yet I can't go walk a mile.
Right.
You'll have to be driving. You'll have to come get in your car and come pick me up, because I won't make it back.
Exactly.
I might make it there, but I'm not making it back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And I think you hit the point there. It is really, and it's hard, especially if you've had a lot. Now, if you've been lucky and you don't have too many people make comments, and I'll be honest, I haven't had a lot of people myself make comments about it. I think I make more of an issue out of everything than they do, to be honest. But if they do, asking them exactly, okay, trying to find out why they're saying that. Is it because of lack of information? Because a lot
Right.
of times I think it is. They really don't. Even something like chronic fatigue syndrome. Okay,
Oh,
years ago, people didn't even believe in it. Now we're realizing it's a real thing.
Right.
right.
And mhm,
Here's the thing. I've been with my husband for 27 years, and I have had this for at least 27 years.
okay.
He still doesn't understand it, and he still doesn't believe me sometimes.
Yeah. Yep. I can tell you for sure. Oh, Kelly, I think I'm starting to get a echo on
Oh,
you.
because I was just moving.
Ah, got it. That makes sense then. And also, yeah, no, I have to stop myself a lot because I know I live with mom, and a lot of times she'll talk about pain or this or that or whatever, and I catch myself a lot of times saying things to her that I'm like, you know what? How do you know? I'm not in her feet, okay, shoes or anything like
Yeah.
that. She could be feeling these ways, and I need to be more supportive of that.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah,
hurts because, I mean, don't get me wrong. He
yeah,
had major back surgery going on 9 years ago. So he's got issues now, naturally with his back and his hips,
right,
and it
right.
goes down his legs. So,
Okay.
yes, he's got pain now too.
Hmm. Right.
But his pain takes precedence over mine.
That tends, okay, no, I won't be bad. I was going to say, well, you know what? That is the good old thing about some of us the guys do not handle pain as well as us
That is
girls.
correct. That is
Right.
correct.
Exactly.
But,
Oh gosh, I think that's just tied to how they do. We deal with emotions differently as people,
Yeah.
also.
Just
But Kelly has a point there.
he laid
People
in bed.
compare their pain to other people's pain.
He laid in bed all week because he was in
Hmm.
so much pain. But I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
yeah.
And so, yeah, no, but you definitely get that, or yeah, just that whole idea of, well, this is what pain looks like to me. People define someone else's condition based off of how, even if we have the same condition, I find a lot of times,
Yeah.
okay, people will, yeah, and yet all conditions have a spectrum to them also. Okay,
Yep.
I'm lucky with my pulmonary hypertension. I'm very, very lucky. There are other people who are on oxygen 24/7. They're on IVs, they're on all sorts of stuff. Yes, I
Yeah.
have a concentrator. Okay, but I've been lucky so far, knock on wood. And
You know,
not,
my
yeah,
own mother says to me, I know plenty of people who have fibromyalgia and they work outside of the home. They could do this, they could do that. Well, good for them.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Oscar. Um, okay, Burton brought up a great question here. What is it you would like for others to most understand about your diagnosis? And then Red Rock had a great comment too.
Nicole, you want
Any,
to go first?
Uh that
or
I
you can handle.
don't
Okay.
have as much control over it as people, not everyone, but people seem to think that I would have control.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
think
makes sense.
that would be the biggest thing.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Kelly, you
Yeah.
need a little more time, or
No, I think like with me, it's you just got to give us all grace because like with me, I've lost a lot of friends because I canceled on a lot of things.
Me too. Yeah.
And I still want to be invited. I have made it to some things, but
mm-hmm.
I can't control it. I
Right.
can't tell you that in a month I'm going to be feeling great,
Yeah. Right. Right.
but I just want I just want people to know that it is real. It's not a made up thing.
Right. Right.
It
I
is
think with
real.
Yeah, totally. I think this kind of goes along a little bit with Red Rock's comment. Okay, playing, and I play, hey, it's totally cool being devil's advocate. I play devil's advocate all the time. And I have to tell people, okay, just so you know. But I do have to say this with me, I think a lot of the times, what I wish people would understand is almost tied to this, because unfortunately, a lot of the reasons why I have issues with all this is because I don't think people are understanding what I'm dealing with. I'm putting words into their mouth. Okay, I'm thinking automatically that if I am at Disneyland, okay, and I'm trying to walk and keep up with everyone, or like when we go to Vegas or something, walk and keep up with everyone, and I can't, I start getting into my head that they are thinking this, and this.
Yep.
And in a way, that's not their fault. That's my fault for thinking that. And so it's weird in a way how this all. Now, yes, there are some people who are going to sit there and, okay, kind of like the same way when I have a rosacea breakout. They're going to sit there and say, well, if you didn't eat sugar, or if you didn't, and they don't realize I don't eat sugar much. I don't like sugar. I hate sugar. And but because they think, okay, face getting all broken out and all that must be acne. No, rosacea is different than acne. Okay, that is not invisible. It's definitely not an invisible illness, but it's that chronic type of illness.
Right.
And, but I think, yeah, that's a lot of my thing is I just want people to know I'm trying to do the best that I can.
Yeah. And to add to that,
yeah.
And I will say I'm guilty. I have changed a lot, but I was very guilty of judging people off their looks.
Yep, me too.
Like you said, overweight, underweight, Then I got to the point where I was 80 pounds. I'm 5'5". I got the looks of I felt people were looking at me like I was a drug addict or I had an eating disorder because I was skin and bones. So, that part of it. And then now I'm struggling. I was going to even cam up tonight for you, Lokamai, but I'm so self-conscious because I've been on steroids for so long that I have moon face. My face is humongous, and I was not going on camera with that.
Well,
or I have gotten looks when I go into the restroom out in public, and if the other stalls are taken, I'm going in that handicap stall.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, right. I'm only 42 years old. I don't have the issues of, not being able to stand up straight or achy bones and such. So when I come out of there or go in, people automatically look at me like, well, look at Miss Priss walking up in the handicap place like she owns it, when not knowing if I don't get in there right now, I'm going to make a huge mess.
Yeah.
That's my handicap. So I feel if we have discussions like this where people are listening, maybe we will all, including myself, be a little less judgy when we don't really know what's going on with that person.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's one thing I think and that's one thing I've learned more and more. Actually, YouTube's taught me this about judging other people, because I see we jump to judgment very quickly on YouTube. And it's helped me to look at myself and when I do it. For example, a couple of you guys know, my rosacea is not bad right now. And this is probably the only reason why I do this right now. But I found a filter that would allow my face to at least not show all the red patches. Okay. Actually, I don't have much right now, but if you looked up, I actually have makeup on. But it gets bad and I get embarrassed because I'm worried about what others would say. And in the end, doesn't matter what others are saying. It shouldn't, but for all of us, it does. A lot of times we do worry about what other people will say or judge. Judgment against us means so. It's back to those old days of high school.
Sometimes you can just feel it when they look at you, though.
Yes.
You don't have to say a word. You can just feel it when they look at you.
Yep.
With me, every time they, sorry about the dogs. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries.
Every time they change the dosage on my Lyrica or Cymbalta, I gain 10 to 12 pounds in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Yep, medications and all.
can't
Yeah.
get that off.
No.
I can't get that stuff off. It's, and I'm only 5'1".
Yeah.
And everybody,
So that,
well, if you can lose a little bit of weight, well, you know what the funny thing is? No, I actually, and this is weird, I'm nowhere near even halfway normal. I feel somewhat better when I'm heavier than when I'm thin.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I think actually that's one thing we haven't looked, and I've actually had someone ask me about doing a panel about weight issues, because it's not just the overweight, it's the underweight. There's a lot of people out there who are underweight and feel that they're being judged for being underweight. And then you have the overweight people who are being judged also. So I've actually had a couple people ask me to do a panel about that. And someday I probably should.
I'm your girl for underweight. I have been overweight also, so I've experienced both sides of it. When I was pregnant with my first son, I got up to 180 pounds.
Okay.
And it took quite a while to, I think I lost maybe 5 after I had him. So it took quite a while to get the baby weight off.
Exactly. And yeah, it's amazing how people do judge looks and stuff like that without having the full story behind it. Okay, with what's going on. And we also know there are issues such as genetic issues tied in with weight. You also have the mental health issues of, okay, a lot of people who have weight issues were actually at one time, they could have been bulimic. And it's just, you know what? Anyone who's ever tried to lose weight knows what the yo-yo diet does. Okay, if you had never gone on one diet, you probably would have been fine. It's just, you kept doing that. But yeah, no, the thing with people looking and all, okay, I even had that this morning. Okay, I had to go get lab work done. And I was running late. They closed at noon. And I was like, oh, if I don't get there by noon, then I'm going to have to wait till Monday. And my follow-up appointment is coming up just a couple days after that. So I was like, okay, I can park far away and I'd have to run, book it. And my oxygen would have been sucking. I would have been out of breath, all that. So I actually pulled into the handicap spot. It was open. There were a couple other spots nearby. Oh no, there weren't any one nearby. It was it was next to a Costco tire place. But I saw this older lady coming out right at that moment, and the look she gave me, like Nicole just said, you can see it in looks at times, and I could totally see it in that look that I was given. And if it hadn't been for the fact that I would have been late and they would have closed, I was this close to stopping and saying, I need to explain what's okay. I shouldn't have to explain.
No.
A part of me just wanted to make a point to her. Okay, what I'm dealing with. Pull out the oximeter and all that. Yeah, exactly. So John Paul, anxiety attacks, really, it gets to the point you can't move, hot, burning up, heart racing. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Anxiety a lot
horrible.
of people. Yeah. And a lot of times I think that, especially with invisible chronic illnesses, a lot of us deal with anxiety due to that. Whether it is something like Nicole said, okay, where you've got, okay, Crohn's and you're worried about what will happen on the way home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to any of these other things that are happening, and you're just, okay, worried about everything else that's going to pop up around it and how you will respond to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicole?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, yeah, no problem. And AJ had, yeah, there's a lot of things with, you were bulimic. I used to binge pizzas and make yourself. Yeah, exactly, AJ. Exactly. A lot of times we do. Okay. They are hidden diseases. Most people don't see something like that. They don't.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't see that someone's fighting an issue on that level.
And that's why I changed for my channel to be for all invisible illnesses, but
I
I
like that.
haven't done much with it because it's
Well,
hard to get people to come up on panel with me and talk about it.
yes. Yeah. Well, I think, and for those of you who don't know, Kelly does have a channel that she's tried to pull up, like you were just saying, a couple times and build it up. And it started off as fibro. And like all of us who have a channel, it starts off as one thing and it grows from there.
Yeah.
And, but I think it's nice, especially with this type of thing, to know that there's other people around who understand what's going on, because if someone doesn't have an invisible or chronic illness, they're not going to know how to really explain what someone is going through because they haven't quite been there, even if they're the
Exactly.
most empathic person. And so
Exactly.
please, yeah, please do go sub to Kelly, because I know she wants to start doing more things. And if you ever would like to talk on panel with her about something,
Yeah,
let her know.
definitely. Well,
And
I'll be in touch with her for sure.
Great. Thank you. I
perfect.
would love
See,
to have you
right
on.
there. Right there. And because that's how we help each other with things. That's how the mental health things that I did on Fridays just started as that. Louisiana girl, by the way. Hey, girl. How you doing?
Yeah,
So
she's my
you have
crone
Crohn's too.
sister. Yep,
See?
she is.
Do you guys find it helps to know that you have like that Crohn's sister or someone else who don't?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I have quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some that I know like here in real life, and then some in the internet. So
Right.
it's nice to have someone with the same illness that gets it, 100% gets it.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Totally. Do either of you guys ever look for the online support group things or a Facebook
Yes.
group?
I'm in quite a few of them, and I actually have a group on Facebook too.
Okay.
Same
That's
name.
good. Okay, that's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, people check that out. I know that's what I was doing last night when I kind of, and yes, that's why I say even with these groups, you got to be careful because you can trigger yourself very quickly. I was triggering
Yes.
myself last night because I'm sitting here reading about, okay, give you guys an idea. The surgery, if I have to have the surgery in the future, they literally, it's an all-day surgery and they have to put you on a heart-lung bypass. They cool your body down to 65 degrees and they actually they stop your heart and everything because they have to go in and get rid of the clots inside the lungs. So it's something that has scared me to death.
Oh, yes.
And I hadn't thought about it for months. But of course, I'm coming up on my follow-up appointment and I'm like, oh God, now my mind's going. But I found yesterday some amazing groups on Facebook where they are talking about, and in a way, part of me got scared because I got to read more about the surgery and all. But on the other hand, it really helped me because I saw people who'd been through it. And yeah, they said, yeah, the surgery was very, very hard for them. But they now live totally normal lives.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, you just have to look at all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
No problem, Christola. No problem at all. Burden, you used to run in a few, so many of us find out how we can help each other, and we're pulled to helping each other by being around each other.
Yes.
And which is nice. So we're coming up at the end of our hour here and all. So I want to check, guys in chat, if you guys have any questions that you really wanted to get feedback on, maybe you deal with this type of issue and there's just something that you've wanted to ask other people about. Is this something that you've dealt with? How do you deal with someone who does this? Whatever it is. I want to give you guys, I know I asked in chat a few minutes ago, but I want to restate that. Please ask those questions because I want people to have that chance to talk, because talking to everyone makes a difference for me. It really does, to
Me
know
too.
what's going on. Yeah.
Or if you
Yeah.
have any questions you don't feel comfortable asking in chat,
Yeah.
most of us I know we're available in Discord.
Yeah,
Yep.
Discord, or you can even email me, whatever.
Yeah, everyone here that's on panel is on Discord, a couple different Discords. In fact, I am going to real quickly put the invite for anyone who is new to Discord. You guys can join there. like I've told people before, most of my Discord at least is public. There are some private folders. For example, members, are part of my Discord. I've got a private folder for us all to hang out. And then other areas where we can come together and talk about harder things. Say people do have mental health discussions they want to talk about. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, my dear. I love hanging out in there. I mean, you talk about someone who can interview a person amazingly. Dorothy is it. She does a great job at interviewing people. I do not do good at interviewing, but there are some people just have that knack for it. So, but yeah, please join. Okay, if you don't have the questions right now, and please feel free to contact us. Write the questions in Discord. Email me. Okay. Thank you, Burden, for sharing all that info. Burden has done an amazing job in chat tonight, guys. Yes. So, yep, you're right. Type. Okay, so it's type 1 for you. So you've got the one that starts when you're younger and stuff like that. And yeah, diabetes truly is an invisible and chronic, because you can't look at someone and say, oh yeah, that person's diabetic.
Right.
Most of the time you don't see it. Yeah, you can't tell when I have literally gone live before and checked my blood sugar and found out my blood sugar was in the 60s the whole time. Okay, because I was bottoming out and wasn't grabbing food. So it definitely went up because you're a nosy. And also, but it is good to know because, for example, we don't know what other people are fighting with. And when we do know what they're fighting with, it helps us understand things better. Okay, because we're all dealing with so many different things right now. So, Red Rock, and that's what it is. Why can't we? YouTube can be an amazing thing for us if we just use it for the right reasons. It really is.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you 100%.
Me too.
Me too. Yeah. Have you found yourself, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I have made it through some really rough parts of the last year, and it's because of the people that I know on YouTube. Yes, I have my 3D friends out here IRL, but it's the one,
Yep, absolutely.
It's just, I think you guys know more about me than many of my close friends that I've known since I was in college, for example.
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You got it. So, well, we are going to, I don't think we have any more questions in chat for this one. However, we did have some great ideas of subjects in the future. John Paul, I love the idea of people who have come close to unaliving and who would like to come and help explain things to other people, help share their story, because I think a lot of people have been there at one point or another.
Oh, I've been there.
Especially, well, again, a tie. Invisible chronic illness sometimes pushes us. Okay, so many things there. So, yes. As Christola just said, we will be doing a birthday cantina. Not sure what we're going to do. It'll probably be a normal cantina that starts with one subject and ends up going through about 5 million. And yes.
That's the fun of it. That's the fun of it.
Yes, it's always fun. Gladys is here. Hey, Gladys, my dear. And if you guys have subjects, these Friday lives, and I don't know if I could fit in more, I'd do another one in the future, but they're here for all of us as a community to kind of come together and address issues that we have to deal with, whether it is something like PTSD, depression, anxiety, here dealing with chronic illness. Okay, so if there are things you'd like to talk about, please let me know. Email me, let me know on Discord. So, and do either of the two of you have anything you'd like to share before we kind of wrap it all up?
No, I think that's about all for me today. But like I said, if you do the one with the weight gain, weight loss issues, I'm definitely in to help with that.
In fact, I'm writing that down right now because, the other thing about me is my memory sucks.
Mine too.
Join the club.
I think sometimes that's also tied to medication, all those things.
Yeah.
People, again, it's one of those invisible things. Okay, sometimes, yeah, it's just age.
Yes.
Trust
I
me.
have Post-it notes everywhere. Just,
Well,
yes. Yep.
with Lyrica, I've been on that for 15 years. They've found that that leads to dementia.
Oh,
Yeah, there is a lot of different things that, and you get into this weighing which is more important. Do I go this route or do I go this route?
right. That's what it
I
is
have
with
no choice
the
but to stay
steroids
on
right
it.
now.
See, steroids are, oh my gosh, one of the greatest things in the world for people. It really does help people, but the side effects of them are
One of
through
the
the
worst
roof.
for you. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, first of all, yeah, Burden, the two of you, I really want to thank you guys for coming up today, jumping in. I know I just put out the word yesterday and the two of you were right there. And like I said, we also had someone else who wanted to be here, but had some family issues pop up.
Thank you for
And
doing
those-
this. I really think it
thank
was
you.
was great.
No problem.
And
This
thank you,
yeah, no,
Mugs,
it's
for sharing everything.
hey, no, that, you know what? All of you have really, not just the two of you, but chat, everyone. We're opening up and sharing things that I know are not easy to share.
Yeah.
Okay, especially on this YouTube platform where sometimes you get worried about what's happening out there and who's going to use this or that or whatever. You know what? In the end, it's about being honest to yourself and taking care of yourself.
Yes.
Right.
And being open is part of taking care of ourselves.
It is.
We can.
Yes.
It gets
yeah.
very lonely when you hold it in. You gotta,
Oh, yes,
you have to talk about
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Gladys just said you're laboring with, oh, interesting. So, and why? Thank you, my dear. So, for those of you, yes, AJ, you had a puppy bomb back there earlier. Mental health is important. So, we are definitely going to continue. I've got a couple subjects going on. I do want to continue the addiction series. For those of you who know, we did an early one, and I do have a guest who wants to come up and help talk about addiction and recovery. So we will be rolling that one out in the near future also. So thank you guys so much. Please don't forget, in just over 50 minutes, we are going to be starting Cantina tonight. So please join us for that for a few minutes. It's always more fun when we're all in there talking story. You guys all know the rule. Everyone welcome, just no drama. It's time for us to relax at the end of the day. So, and thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
It was fun.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you guys for popping up. You made it much easier.
Thank you,
for me.
chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody. And in case I fall asleep, happy birthday.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Birthdays are fun. So
yes,
thank you guys so much. They are totally. And thank you guys for those of you who joined as new members tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining the Ohana. Let me know if you're in Discord so that I can make sure to add you to the private group. Otherwise, I will see you guys in 52 minutes for Cantina. See you there. Aloha. Goodbye. Have a great night. Bye-bye, all.